Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I review the latest movies and documentaries. Today, I'm going to talk about Broken. If you're interested in this topic, make sure to watch this video until the end, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. At the beginning of the story, we see a wooden box in a deserted forest in which a girl was imprisoned. She had tried her best to free herself from this captivity. Even his nails were broken. Finally the box opened and she immediately ran away to save her life. He was completely injured and his leg was stuck on his stomach. After going a short distance, a man coming from behind suddenly attacks him and makes him unconscious. When she came to her senses, she felt that her neck had been tied with pain. There is a small platform under the feet, that is, a kind of setup for hanging him, which was made by this man standing in front. The man is a psychopath, he gets pleasure from hurting people. This girl had to free herself somehow and run away from here. He had only one loaf of bread for this purpose and for his own defense. Irani's point is that the bread was not in her hands but was inside her stomach, which was also not kept by this psychopath inside the girl's stomach. If he wanted to save his life, he could not bear even a little pain. The girl bravely bears the pain and tries to remove the blade from the blind man by opening her stomach. Saying which, all his penis had come out. After finally removing the blade, the girl cuts the rope around her neck and calls herself free. When the psychopath immediately comes to him and asks him, "Would you like to continue this game with me?" Thinking how much more pain and torture he will give her, she answers him in the negative and kills herself by shooting herself with the gun the psychopath has placed on her head. On the other hand, we are shown a lady named Hawk who was sitting near her daughter, and in the next scene, we were now seeing Hope in the same wooden box from which earlier a girl had come out and ran away, and also like the same girl. Very badly injured. He has a patella from where there was a lot of bleeding. It is revealed that this man had kidnapped Hope from her well. Hope also tried a lot to get out of this box, but she failed in it, and when the psychopath came to know about this, she herself took it out of the box, or the psychopath did not come in front of her. The first person Hope thought of was her daughter. She ran into the forest to find her. Char finds her daughter's daddy in the jungle. No matter what might have happened to him. This thought was in Hope's heart, and due to this she was crying when suddenly the psycho sits behind her and hits her on the head with dinner, and makes her unconscious. When Hope regains consciousness, she too is tied up like the first girl. Downstairs, in the small hanging setup, she also sees a dying girl in pain, which is obvious, she herself has to leave here. She must have failed to free herself and died because she had not done anything for a long time, so here the psychopath gives her a stick. You had understood that now he had to remove the stitches in his stomach and take out the blade kept inside his stomach. He might have said no to work for himself, but he had to get free from here and find his daughter. Enduring all the pain for the sake of his daughter, he opened his leg with the help of this wood, just like taking out bread and calling himself free from here. At this time the psychopath comes to him and the first girl asks this question, "Would you like to continue this game further?" For the sake of her daughter, without thinking anything, she says yes to the psychopath. After hearing that he is not a psychopath, he again stomps Hope and drags her to his camp. She had become unconscious. When she regained consciousness, her legs were tied, or when psychopath Chip gives her water, she drinks it like an animal, because she has not eaten anything for the last 5 days. She asks the psychopath about her daughter, to which Missa looks at her, and tells her to never mention her daughter in future. Now your family is just me. Hope, who gets restless, starts begging the psychopath to please leave me, let me go. Whoever listens to him, the psychopath comes in the room and beats him, and tells him that you don't even have a name for him. After saying this, he gave potatoes to Hope to eat and went to his camp and slept. Hope also fell asleep lying on the ground. When morning came, his eyes opened to the sound of utensils being dropped in front of him. He was saying from now on that he has to clean all the utensils before my arrival and starts working silently, and during this time he sees a sharp knife in front of him. With the help of this knife, she could have made herself fall easily, and also could have fought the psychopath. She tries to pick it up, but Cha was a little beyond her reach, so she now uses a stick to pick it up. Finally he gets hold of the knife, and then he hears the psychopath coming. She hides the knife behind herself. The psychopath sits here and gives her a bar in the name of washing utensils. He was her very dear son. Hope could have killed him, but she didn't, and then psychopathy notices this. The farmer who went with the knife is no longer a vehicle. This knife was actually a test for Hope, which she had lost due to lifting it. Hope thinks that since the psychopath already knows about the knife, why not attack him and run away from here? Hope uses all her might to cleverly attack the decapitated, but it is no use as the psychopath easily dodges the attack. He beats Ab, and, keeping the knife on his back, threatens him that if he ever tries to run away like this in the future or commits any such mistake, he will cut his leg at such a place that he will not be able to even walk. As punishment, he had now tied Hajian's chain around his neck. Many days passed like this. She had now understood that she had no choice but to obey the psychopath. The psychopath used to make him do all his work and get food cooked for him. This psychopath had even given the job of growing small vegetables to Hope. Time kept passing like this. The plants grown by Hope finally grew flowers, seeing which Hope became very happy, and this made Carapath angry. He plucks this flower and tells Hope to eat it. He tells you forcefully, but Hopeful is not able to eat it. And then he says, what is the use of growing things which cannot be eaten? Now one day opens and brings her to the river bank where Hope, while bathing, thinks that something has to be done. I can't stay here much longer. I must win the psychopath's Sunday to be free from here. Saying this decision, she now returns to her prison with the psychopath. In front of his eyes, she herself ties her chain around her neck, and his neck starts doing all the work. Even the psychopath had become fond of Hope's actions. He slept next to Hope at night, and when Hope woke up in the morning, she was still in deep sleep. He very easily removes the key from the psychopath's pocket and frees himself. After which she had now picked up the knife and placed it on the psychopath's neck. She wanted to kill him and run away from here. But killing a human being was not in her control. When she couldn't do it, she cut the psychopath's leg and ran away from there. The psychopath was also following him. Deep in the forest, Hope found another box made of wood, inside which were her daughter's blanket and hair. She starts crying holding it, and the psycho detects her from behind and holds her again. This punished Hope very badly. He broke Hope's leg in such a bad way that her bone came out, after which he dragged Hope to the camp and tied her neck to Gulshanjai. Hope was suffering a lot, but this psychopath does not provide any treatment to her, but instead starts nursing his wounds for Hope, after which he tells Hope that he is leaving. You have to do all the work. She was screaming in pain, and the psychopathos says, please kill me, to which she replies that you do this work yourself. Killing herself was not that easy. She could not remain dead, so she started treating herself using some things lying nearby. She calls her bone inside the meat. She ties him by giving him a wooden support. It was as if he had made plaster. Now she used to do all her work with this broken leg, used to hunt, cook food, and like this 8 days passed. After 8 days the psychopath came back. Due to this, he had brought another girl with him. This girl came here and was shouting very loudly. She forbids him to shout and says, I will help you. Just don't shout for now. This girl doesn't listen to anything Hope says and gets angry and throws Sai's leg by taking out her tongue. Pollen was coming out of her mouth rapidly, and she had still not stopped shouting. Now the psychopath threatens Hope to make this new girl like him. Taught them all the work, and now the psychopath conducts a knife test for this new girl. It is obvious that if this girl was allowed to pick up the knife, she would have received a severe punishment. The office explains to the girl not to try to pick up that knife. That's a trap. Because of obeying this Marma Hope, she was saved from a major punishment. We also see that flowers have grown again in the garden, which when psychopath tries to pluck them again, this Mataba Hope refuses him. Here we notice that the psychopath has started obeying Hope in such a way that he has accepted Hope as his family member. He used to give good food to Hope like himself, but not to the other girl, the psychopath. He also wanted to make this girl a slave like Hope. But this girl was much smarter than Hope and was just looking for an opportunity. One day when the psychopath comes to her, she fills a sock with a lot of stones and attacks him. Making her unconscious, he takes out his luck key from her pocket and frees himself. She also took out Hope's key and gave it to Hope, after which she runs away from here. But despite trying so hard, his luck was not good, because soon the psychopath regains consciousness and runs behind the girl, and shoots her from a distance. When the girl couldn't solve this puzzle, the psychopath strangled her to death. Here on the other hand we see that Hope had also freed herself. She tries to run to the other side of the forest, but due to the pound being broken, she is unable to escape from here, and comes back to the psychopathic camp. Where at this moment she had decided that she will mark the psychopath at any cost, and she had picked up an iron rod and her daughter's teddy from the psychopath's cab. At this time, psychopaths had come here and there. His condition looks quite strange now. Here he tells Hope that you should kill me. Hope, who was already very angry with this psychopath, shows no mercy to this psychopath and very brutally kills him by repeatedly hitting him on the head with an iron rod. And before this, the last love psychopath had said that do not go to the other side of the forest, there is 17, but Hope, who was so much like this, was in slavery to this psychopath. He had no intention of obeying the psychopath after Maddie. She takes her daughter's teddy and goes to the same site, and here she sees a hut in the middle of the forest. She quickly goes closer to this hut, and on looking inside she finds her daughter here, and without thinking anything, she opens the door of this hearth to save her daughter. It didn't even occur to him in his panic that the psycho had called him 17 here. As soon as she opens the door, there is a small explosion. It turns out that the door was actually a trap. On the other side, there were many insects which had got stuck all over Hope's face, due to the pressure of flying. Even both his eyes were lost. The story ends here showing that she, who had come here to save her daughter, was close to death herself. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this movie and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time.